Go ahead and open Access Module 3 Textbook Project. And go ahead and click the Start File and then save it immediately where you save your documents, and change the name to, instead of -1, it should be _jobs_ and your last name. Make sure there's no parentheses 1. The first thing we're going to do is, looking at the objects, it's broken up into tables, queries, forms, and reports. And this module is working with queries. So the first thing you're going to do is open the jobs by industry. So double click will open it, and it opens in what's called data sheet view, where it looks like an Excel spreadsheet. And then go into any state that's blank for the general digital, and you'll type AL, and then when you click in any other section, it fills in the rest for you. So you only have to do it once, as long as they're all the same category. The next thing we'll do is we want to get rid of a record of information. So you'll click the record selector, and that's over in the left margin, and the one they want you to choose is the company ID 8 banking, the very first one. So select it, and then up in the records group, press delete. Are you sure you want to delete it? And yes. So as you can see, the first column is called company ID, the next one is industry, and then company name and description. So the next thing, just click anywhere. You're going to right click on company name and choose freeze fields. And what that does is it puts company name as the first column, and then as you're tabbing, moving along from column to column, what's going to happen is company ID is going to tuck under, so company name always stays first. So it always stays first. And then go ahead and tab into the last field, and for applicants, type 15. Then we're going to, if you continue to press tab, it just starts the next field, and we're going to go into description. And we're going to right click description and choose hide. So hide, we just hid the whole column of description. Then we'll come up to the tab that says jobs by industry, and then you'll right click and choose save, and then right click and close. So next we're going to work still with queries, job salaries. So double click job salaries. Again, it shows up in data sheet view, but we want to change it to design view. So just up in the left hand corner, click the graphing ruler and pencil, and now you're in design view. So right now the columns chosen are industry, company name, job title, job ID, and company ID. And we want to add starting salary. So sometimes working with these two tables, companies and jobs, you can't see everything that's there. So if you hover to the edge between the two, you can widen it so you can see more. And they would like you to double click starting salary from the jobs table, and it automatically comes into the next item. Next, we're going to click Company ID, and we do not want this column anymore. So click up in the query setup, choose Delete Column, and it's gone. The next thing we'll do is we'll click in Company Name, and we want to make this first. So if you click with the arrow pointing down, we're going to drag and move it to first. So you see how the borders changed? So now company name is first. So now to view the changes that we've made for the 5 columns, click the View button. And then you have company name first, industry, job title, job ID, and now we have this starting salary. So go ahead on the tab for job salaries, right click and choose close. Now we didn't click save, so now it'll ask us, do you want to save? And you'll say yes. Now we'll choose create, and we're going to create a query design. So choose query design. And over on the far right, you want to add tables. You want tables to show. So these are all the tables that are over here. And the one you would like to choose is jobs. So double click jobs and it appears, and you can make it wider if you don't see everything. You make it wider. And the next one they want is companies. And again, you make it, you can stretch it out. We can close the add tables. So working with these, you can see the connection between the two tables is company ID. So starting with the salary field, we're going to drag salary field into the first field. So just hold and drag. So it's the very first field that we're taking from jobs. And then we'll also select job title. And then company name. Then we'll view to see our 3 columns. And we have our starting salary, our job title, and company name. So then we will right click on query 1 and choose save, and we'll give it a name, company jobs, and OK. The next thing we're going to do is work in what's called SQL, which stands for Structured Query Language. And that's just a breakdown of what we have in this query in Structured Query Language. So if you right click on the tab for company titles, you can choose SQL View. And it's just a breakdown of everything that we selected for this particular query. So the next thing you're going to do is click to the right of jobs starting salary in the first line, so right after the Y in salary, and then you'll type comma space jobs period applicants. So jobs stands for the table, and then you have your dot, and then starting salary is the name of that column title, and then this one is jobs from the jobs table, and this is the separated, the column title was called applicants, and so forth. So the jobs, the first one indicates the table, the second one indicates what column title. So the next one, this was from the table called companies, and then it was the column title called company name. So go ahead and right click and choose data sheet view, and then you have your starting salary, your applicants, your job title, and your company name. So we added applicants. And then we can right click and choose design view. And then, so you can see that, again, the same columns, the same core 4 columns. Then we'll right click and we'll choose close. And then it'll prompt us to save, and you'll say yes. Next, we'll be working with sort data. So from the query job salaries, double click job salaries, and you have your 5 columns. And we are going to right click on starting salary and choose descending, which is Z to A, sort largest to smallest, so the highest figure comes up first. And then if you can't see all of the figures, you can, just like you would in Excel, stretch the column out to widen it. So sometimes you can't see the column title. You could also double click and it'll widen it for you. So we'll now right click on job salaries and choose design view. So data sheet view and now design view. And then we'll come down to the bottom part, and the first one is telling you the name of the column and the table. So there's 2 tables we're working with, companies and jobs, and they're indicated here that from the companies table we took company name and industry, and then from the jobs table we took the following columns. So what we want to do is go to under company name, choose, there's no arrow right here in sort. Once you click in that cell, now you do get the arrow. So you're going to click the arrow and choose ascending, so it's alphabetical order. Then you'll go to the start salary field and then again you get the arrow, and you'll choose descending. So you first want it to be in alphabetic order by company name in alphabetic order, and then if there's multiple names that are the same in alphabetic order, it'll be by the salary, the highest to the lowest. And then we'll right click on the job salaries, and we'll go back to data sheet view, and then for example there's 3 accent groups, and then it'll be the highest value to the lowest. Add core partners, all of them, again they're in alphabetic order, and it's the highest value to the lowest. So now we'll right click on job salaries and choose close, and because we didn't save, we're commanded to, so go ahead and save. The next thing we'll do is what's called find and replace. So this time we're going to work with the table, so double click jobs, and you should be in data sheet view, and then click anything in the job responsibilities. So just click any section in the job responsibilities, and then up at the top in the find group you have replace. And what you want to replace, so in the first one you're going to tell it to look for long range, and what you want it replaced with is long hyphen range. So it really should be a hyphenated word. And then make sure that the match category is any part of field. So make sure match any part of the field. So when you do click replace, it's going to ask you that it can't undo. So make sure that everything is correct. Long range with a hyphen, long range. So go ahead and choose replace all. Again, it's asking you, do you want to continue, because you cannot undo it, and you'll say yes. And then we'll close out of here. In job 4, so you may have to look over to the left, you're looking for the word overall, so double click overall and press delete, and then press enter, and it just takes you to the next tab. Now what we want to do is get this back, so go ahead and click undo in your quick access toolbar, and you have overall back. So click any field in the job responsibilities, and this time we're going to choose find, and we're looking for long hyphen range, and then we'll click find next. It takes us to one of them. Click next again, takes you to another one, and one more, a third one. So if you keep clicking find next, it'll find all of them for you. And then we'll click cancel to close out of here. And then we'll click right click on jobs and choose close, and it's going to ask us, sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't, so it didn't ask us to save. I'm going to stop before I start the next section so we'll have time, and we'll be on filtering data, so I'll stop here on 3-10.